Hey y'all, welcome back to InDFlix. Episode 18 was an emotional chaos. Nic and Cierra's vibes got rocky. Jeremiah, we're going to talk about Jeremiah. And another fan favorite, oh my God. Let's get into it, y'all. Smash that like, subscribe, ring the bell. We're going to jump into the Fiji drama. So Jeremiah and Iris, they're all coupled up and they have a conversation about, I guess, how they're feeling towards each other. And honestly, y'all, the conversation wasn't needed. We can all see it. Basically, they declare that it's strictly platonic, only friend vibes. Iris is really digging new bombshell TJ. Jeremiah's really feeling new bombshell Andrina. So I don't even think Jeremiah and Iris even gave that they were going to be a serious couple like our other couples, like Cierra and Nic, Shelly and Ace. Like, it wasn't giving that to begin with. So the conversation wasn't surprising, but it was had. They both had support for each other. And it was kind of like a closing, like, I don't see it progressing, so we might as well just cut it. But we could still be cool. And they support each other. So I'm glad they had this conversation. Like, let's just clear it out so we're not going to lead down this path of what ifs. So we have Nic and Cierra, and we're going to talk about them for a while. Nic and Cierra basically have a conversation. To sum it all up, Cierra is telling him how she feels about him. Obviously, feelings are growing stronger. She feels like this is her strongest connection. They also took it to the next step and got physical and had sex, which Nic has been saying out loud he didn't last long throughout this whole episode. And, when you cross that line, obviously the emotions and feelings get enhanced. Nic's response was not the response that Cierra wanted to hear, nor I as a viewer wanted to hear. It didn't give any reassurance at all. It was almost like, yeah, right now you my top connection, but right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't give, I'm happy to just be only with you and I'm focusing on this. He's still like, I'm open. And we've seen that because he admits he's interested in Andrina, which I still don't see how that, whatever. But him just saying that just, again, opens the floodgates for any newcomer. We still have Casa Amor. I'm sure we still have plenty more, bombshells. And it's just like, dang, this girl literally has been giving her all physically, emotionally to you. And it doesn't feel like it's reciprocated. Like, you're still, what else are you looking for? Either it's going to be this or it's not. And I just didn't like how he kind of played it off. Like, yeah, I'm happy with you. You're my deepest connection, but I'm still open. Like, you playing right now, Nic. I don't like it. So then we have Amaya talking with Olandria, and this was a very much needed conversation. And I'm glad, because I'm not going to lie, last episode when Austin didn't keep it a buck with her, I thought Amaya was going to go down Lulu lane and, just think everything's okay. But she's peeping it. She's peeping the change. She's peeping the distance. She's aware that, I am a lot. And I really like what she was saying, how, like, I'm a lot, but I'm not changing for nobody. And she's right. You shouldn't. Like, I'm sure there is going to be a guy out there who accepts all of you, like, all of your extraness. I'm just glad that she peeped the disconnect with Austin. And I hope she steers away from that. And Olandria has been a very good person, a voice of reason. So this was, like, the right person to, have this conversation with. But, I'm hoping someone comes in for Amaya. At first I'm not going to lie. At first I was just like, all right, this girl got to go. She's doing too much. But, I feel like genuinely she is trying to look for something. She just needs someone to match her energy. And none of the guys here currently do that. So Huda has a conversation with both Shelly and Sierra. And they're basically telling her like where they stand in their friendship. Sierra confessed about being distant because it was just too much drama. We know the drama between Huda and Jeremiah. And Huda, she expresses like, I don't have close girlfriends, which I'm not gonna lie, I could tell. Just how she did the whole Hannah thing and Pepe, like I could tell she's just one of those girls who has maybe a small group of girlfriends. And like I have a small group. It's like about maybe 5 or 6 that I could call my close friends. But she was like, she only claims 2. And I think that says a lot. Maybe she's just not used to being in this atmosphere with a whole bunch of females. And knowing, girl code, because the girl code definitely wasn't shown last episode. But, it seems like they had a heart to heart and a better understanding. And, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, Huda is the crash out queen. For sure. Takes the title. But I do think I do want to see a different side of her. Now, the flirtiness that she had with TJ, that felt a little forced to me. Like, I do want to see a different side of hers. I think she could be a cool chick. Again, I feel like she needs a man that's gonna, make her. He gonna have to put his foot down with her. But I would like to see a more softer side to her, and see if that's even possible in the future for any future guys. I don't currently think anyone currently in the villa is a match for her right now, and her blowouts probably could have left a lot of viewers like a bad taste in their mouth, even guys coming in. But there are some guys who like that, so I don't know. But I think she has the support from the girls, in hopes that she finds a connection, because she has backed away from Jeremiah a lot. Thank God. So Huda and TJ have a conversation, and I knew this was gonna happen. TJ basically told her that he is not feeling her in that way, like at all. Strictly just, platonic vibes. And Huda was very like confused. Like, excuse me? Like I didn't get that. Like I thought we had a good, conversation, but girl, you're not gonna be for everybody. And, she even mentioned she's used to guys obsessing over her. Maybe that's the problem. You don't need no man obsessing over you. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. But this just leads to what I said. Like maybe, again, her actions beforehand left a bad taste in people's mouth. Like they are not trying to have those problems. But he did it respectfully. And I'm not surprised. Like he has a strong connection with Iris, which I figure will be his type. I don't know if he's going to pursue things with Sierra now that Nick is dropping the ball now. So we'll have to see how that develops. Jeremiah and Andrina sitting in the tree. Kissing. He is feeling this girl. And I'm not, clearly Jeremiah has a type. Clearly. And that should be okay, right? Because we're like, what, mid-season now? So the hopping around is kind of over and done with. I don't think, I've seen a lot of change in Jeremiah, and I'm proud of him. He stepped fully away from Huda. And yes, he is kind of almost doing the same thing with Huda, where he's like laser focused on just now Andrina. But he did try with Iris, and it was platonic. And Andrina just lights a different fire under him, and he's for it. I'm for it. She's for it. They look good together. Like they have good banter. They're flirting. He's also not as serious as he was with Huda. Granted, this is 2 different scenarios though, because Huda laid a lot on him. She's a mother, so he had to take that into consideration of, how serious and guarded he had to be with her. But with him and Andrina, it's like actually fun. It seems like, it could be a really good vibe. Like they can grow into something genuine. And I just see like a lighter. What do y'all think? Like, do y'all see a difference in how Jeremiah is? I just see like a lighter side to him. I love it. I love it for him. So we get a text for all the islanders to come to the fire pit. And this is based off America's Vote from 2 episodes ago, where everyone had to select their favorite islander, a girl and a boy. So we knew this was coming. We knew elimination was approaching. And I was so shocked by these results. I'm not going to lie. I was shocked, but not shocked. Let's get into it. So the girls got to go first, and in no particular order. Olandria's name was called first as being safe, which I can understand. I feel like she's been given all that she can give. She's also been a voice of reason in the house. So I kind of already knew she was going to be safe. Next was Sierra, which was another not surprising thing for me. I'm sure a lot of people like Sierra. I like Sierra. I just like how she is with the girls. I like how she is with the guys. She's always, having talks with the new bombshells. So that didn't surprise me at all. And then we had Shelly next. Gotta be a fan favorite. Like, that girl is gorgeous. I just drop dead gorgeous. I was a little scared though, because I thought she wouldn't get votes because of how people may be viewing Ace. But then again, they may want Shelly to be with someone else. I don't know. But I'm rooting for Shelly. I'm also rooting for Ace too. So I was happy to see that. And then the last girl that got called to be safe was it was Hutta. And you know what? I'm not even that surprised, because 1, we are seeing some type of change or growth with her. 2, she's good drama. She's good TV. This girl is bringing it every episode. So I'm not surprised that she had also one of the top votes to stay in the villa. So that left Hannah, Iris, and Amaya vulnerable, and one of them were going to get kicked off the island, and that decision was left with the girls, which I was surprised. I thought they were going to have the guys vote, pick a girl, and the girls pick a guy, but no, the girls had to save 2 and drop 1. Now let's look at these 3. We have Hannah, who had a crazy connection with Charlie and has been having a flourishing connection with Pepe, right? Iris, who has now, advised Jeremiah, just friends, but we could see a blossoming connection with new bombshell TJ. And then Amaya, she's with Austin, but we know, like, it ain't there. Like, Austin's over it. She doesn't feel wanted, I guess, in a sense. But, she tried with Ace, she tried with Austin. I don't know. So the girls then decided to send home, out of all those 3, surprisingly, Hannah. Y'all got rid of Hannah? Why not Amaya? Shit, why not Iris? Hannah, though, the girl has been full on for her connections, clearly. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I honestly feel like, in my opinion, it was Hutta's doing. Because, last episode, Hutta was trying to get at Pepe. Do you think that was the reason why? Like, she trying to just eliminate the competition so he could focus on Hutta now? That's the only reason I can see. I don't see any other reason. Even Iris, like, Iris could have went. Like, she's new. Her and TJ ain't that deep invested in. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can find someone else. Amaya, even she can go. Like, she don't really have a strong connection in here with anybody, unless you just want to, allow her to have opportunity to find something else. But Hannah, that surprised me. What do y'all think about that? The girls voting that. I was shocked. So we had the guys now up for, the voting. And Taylor was the first name that was safe, which is no surprise. And he's a frat. I mean, he's Greek. I mean, he's a part of a fraternity, so he probably has a lot of support outside and getting votes. Because in my opinion, I thought he was going to be one of the people up for elimination. We also had Nick. And we had, surprised me, that was also safe, was Ace. Ace had a lot of, votes. And then it surprised me, but then it did, because remember, Ace comes from a social media background. Like, he has a huge following on TikTok. So I'm sure whoever's on his team, working his page, they're keeping people engaged. So it surprised me, but didn't surprise me. But those were our 3 safe guys. So we have Jeremiah, Pepe, and Austin up for elimination. I don't know. I really thought Jeremiah was going to be saved. I didn't know he wouldn't have the votes, honestly. Like, even over Taylor, I was not expecting Jeremiah to be with one of the people with the least amount of votes. But the guys had the same thing they had to do for the girls, and the guys had to vote out a guy. And when I tell you, my mouth dropped. Taylor got up to give his little speech, and they decided to dump Jeremiah. This has to be strategic play. That's the only way I can see reason for this. Or y'all some real big haters. I don't know. But still doesn't make any sense. You clearly see America's not all for Jeremiah if he's, one of the 3 with the least amount of votes. It's gotta, I don't know what it is. It has to be strategic, because honestly, we all know who probably pushed it. It definitely was probably Ace who pushed it. He'd been on Jeremiah's tail since the Huda thing. You know what I'm saying? But for Nick to not even stand his grind, that's supposed to be like your close friend. Y'all saved Austin? Why is Austin still here? Why is Austin still here? Make it make sense. Someone, please, in the comments. The math ain't mathin'. Jeremiah has made 2 serious connections. Austin has not made 1. I don't care what y'all say about that Shelly thing. Shelly and him was never a thing. And we all know that. That is wild. This vote, oh my God. It pissed me off. I don't know about y'all. This was the most stupidest vote. This is why you don't leave stuff like this in their hands. Because I don't know if it's ego driven, just gameplay. It's stupid. Stupid. I feel so bad for Jeremiah. Huda takes Jeremiah away to have a conversation before he says bye, apologizing for her actions. And girl, please, bye. Miss me with that, because you could have been apologized for that. Why wait till he's getting dumped to say something? But I guess it's closure that she wanted to have, and maybe it's good closure for him. But this conversation wasn't needed. Like, girl, it is what it is. If you cared that much, a apology should have been had. But, he wanted also talking to Andrina. They made out. And you know what? I'm happy on how he acted. Like, he was a gentleman. Like, it is what it is. I'm out of here. But I ain't gonna lie, producers, bring him back, because y'all have done it before where someone's got eliminated and y'all brought them back to Casa Amor or whatever. I don't think that vote of kicking Jeremiah off was the right vote at all. So whoever in whatever office need to do what they got to do, bring him back, because the guys, they hating heavy. So that was pretty much the big things that happened this episode. But also, Do y'all notice that when they were deciding who to vote, we didn't see no conversations being had? Like, usually I'm used to actually seeing them talk it out and figure out, how they're going to vote which way. We didn't see that at all. Because I really need to understand the reasoning on why both Hannah and Jeremiah were voted off. Because both of them don't make sense to me at all. So I'm hoping the next episode we can, look into it. But then again, Casa Amor is starting the next episode. So we might not even get, resolution of why it came to this. But, episode 18, definitely broken hearts and blurred loyalties. Do y'all think the Jeremiah dumping was fair? And how do y'all think about the Nic and Cierra tension? You think it's going to break them up or rebuild? Especially, again, we got Casa Amor next. I'm definitely seeing Nic's loyalty shift, though. So it's gonna get crazy, y'all. But drop your thoughts in the comments below. Then hit that like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Episode 19 is brewing. We have Casa Amor, where it get crazy. You don't want to miss what happens next on InDFlix. I'll see you and talk to y'all later.